Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into something I find absolutely fascinating: hobbies and interests. It's one of those topics that really lets your personality shine through in conversation.
I couldn't agree more. It's always energizing to talk about what we're passionate about outside of our professional lives. These are the things that truly define us as individuals.
Exactly. So let's start with something quite popular: music. What role does music play in your life?
Oh, music is absolutely integral to my daily existence. I'm an avid listener across multiple genres, though I have a particular soft spot for jazz and blues. There's something about the improvisation and raw emotion in those styles that really resonates with me. I actually play the guitar as well, though I describe myself as an enthusiastic amateur rather than a virtuoso.
That's wonderful. How did you get into playing the guitar? Was it something you picked up recently, or have you been at it for a while?
I started dabbling with it about 7 years ago. Initially, it was quite frustrating. My fingers would ache after practice sessions, and coordinating both hands seemed impossible. But I persevered, and now it's become my go-to stress reliever. There's nothing quite like losing yourself in a melody after a demanding day at work.
I can imagine. Now, what about physical activities? Are you into any sports or fitness pursuits?
I'm quite passionate about cycling, actually. I wouldn't call myself a competitive cyclist by any stretch, but I do enjoy long-distance rides on weekends. There's something liberating about exploring countryside trails and pushing your physical limits. I've recently taken up rock climbing as well, which has been both exhilarating and humbling.
Rock climbing. That sounds adventurous. What drew you to that particular activity?
Well, a colleague of mine kept raving about it, and I finally decided to give it a shot. What captivated me was the mental challenge as much as the physical one. It's like solving a vertical puzzle. You need to strategize your route, assess risks, and maintain complete focus. It's taught me patience and problem solving in ways I never anticipated.
That's such an insightful perspective. Shifting to something perhaps more contemplative, are you much of a reader?
Absolutely. Reading has been a lifelong companion for me. I tend to gravitate toward nonfiction, particularly biographies and historical accounts. Currently, I'm working my way through a fascinating biography of Ada Lovelace. What I find rewarding about reading is how it broadens your worldview and exposes you to different eras and mindsets.
Ada Lovelace, the mathematician and early computer pioneer, right? That's quite specialized reading. Do you set yourself reading goals or just read as the mood strikes?
I try to maintain consistency rather than setting rigid targets. I aim to read for at least 30 minutes before bed each night. It's become such an ingrained habit that I actually struggle to fall asleep without it. This routine helps me get through roughly 2 books a month, which feels sustainable without being...
Hello and welcome back. I'm thrilled to be here with you today to explore something we all have in common: our hobbies and the things that spark joy in our lives.
Thanks so much. I'm genuinely excited about this topic. Hobbies are such a personal thing, aren't they? They reveal so much about who we are beyond our professional lives.
Absolutely. So let's jump straight in. What hobbies or interests do you currently pursue in your free time?
Well, I've got quite a few interests that I rotate between depending on my mood. Photography is probably my biggest passion at the moment. I invested in a decent camera about 2 years ago, and it's completely transformed how I experience the world around me. I'm particularly drawn to landscape and street photography.
That's fascinating. What is it about photography that captivates you so much?
I think it's the way it forces you to be present and observant. When you're looking for the perfect shot, you notice details you'd normally overlook. The way light filters through leaves, interesting architectural features, or candid moments between people. It's like training yourself to see beauty in ordinary situations.
What a poetic way to describe it. Do you tend to go out specifically for photography sessions, or do you just carry your camera everywhere?
A bit of both, honestly. On weekends, I'll sometimes dedicate an entire morning to scouting locations, especially during golden hour when the lighting is optimal. But I also keep a smaller mirrorless camera in my bag for those spontaneous moments. You never know when something remarkable will unfold in front of you.
That's wonderful. Now, aside from photography, what other activities do you make time for?
Cooking has become increasingly important to me over the past year. What started as a necessity during lockdown evolved into a genuine hobby. I love the creative aspect of it, experimenting with flavor combinations, trying cuisines from different cultures, and occasionally improvising when I'm missing an ingredient.
Oh, I completely relate to that. Do you have a particular type of cuisine you gravitate towards?
I've been on a bit of an Asian cuisine kick lately. Thai food especially appeals to me because of its complexity, that balance between sweet, sour, salty, and spicy. I recently mastered making a decent pad Thai from scratch, which felt like quite an accomplishment. Though I must admit my attempts at dumplings haven't quite been as successful.
Practice makes perfect, as they say. What about more active pursuits? Are you into any sports or fitness activities?
I wouldn't call myself particularly athletic, but I do play tennis recreationally. I joined a local club about 6 months ago, which was slightly intimidating initially because I'm nowhere near an advanced player. But it's been brilliant for both fitness and socializing. There's something inherently satisfying about that perfect serve or a well-executed backhand.
That takes courage to join when you're still learning. How often do you manage to get out on the courts?
I aim for twice a week, usually Tuesday evenings and Sunday mornings. The Sunday sessions are particularly enjoyable because they're more casual. We often grab brunch afterwards and chat about everything under the sun. It's become this lovely ritual that I genuinely look forward to.
That sounds delightful. Now, I'm curious, do you engage with music at all, either listening or playing?
Music is constantly part of my daily soundtrack, though I'm purely a listener rather than a performer. My taste is fairly eclectic, ranging from classical when I need to concentrate, to indie rock when I'm cooking, to jazz when I'm unwinding in the evening. I recently discovered this amazing thing called vinyl collecting, which might sound pretentious, but there's something about the ritual of playing a record that streaming just doesn't replicate.
Not pretentious at all. There's definitely a tactile quality to physical media that's been lost in the digital age. What about reading? Do you make time for books?
I try to, though I'll admit it's become more challenging with everything else competing for attention. I typically read before bed. It's part of my wind-down routine. I oscillate between fiction and nonfiction depending on what I'm in the mood for. Right now, I'm working through a fascinating book about the history of food and how it shaped civilizations. It actually ties into my interest in cooking quite nicely.
That sounds like a perfect combination. How do you balance all these different interests without feeling overwhelmed?
Honestly, I don't try to do everything all the time. Some weeks I'm heavily focused on photography. Other weeks, cooking takes priority. I've learned not to put pressure on myself to be consistent with every hobby. They're meant to be enjoyable, not another set of obligations. If I force it, the pleasure disappears.
That's such wise advice. One final question. Have any of these hobbies led to unexpected opportunities or connections?
Actually, yes. Through photography, I've met some incredible people at local meetups and exhibitions. One connection even led to a freelance gig photographing a friend's wedding, which was nerve-wracking but ultimately rewarding. It's reminded me that hobbies can open doors you never anticipated. They enrich your life in ways that extend far beyond the activity itself.
What a perfect note to end on. Thank you so much for sharing your passions with us today. Let's unpack some of the valuable language from that conversation. Starting with vocabulary, captivates means to attract and hold someone's attention completely. Gravitate towards means to be naturally drawn to or prefer something. Eclectic describes a wide-ranging taste that draws from various sources. Oscillate means to move back and forth between different states or options. Now for useful expressions. Golden hour in photography refers to the period shortly after sunrise or before sunset when lighting is soft and warm. From scratch means making something from basic ingredients without using premixes or shortcuts. Everything under the sun is an idiom meaning all possible topics or things. Wind down routine describes activities that help you relax before sleep. For pronunciation, pay attention to eclectic with stress on the second syllable. Eclectic. Recreational emphasizes the third syllable, recreational. Pretentious stresses the second syllable, pretentious. Grammar-wise, notice the effective use of present perfect continuous tense for ongoing hobbies. I've been on an Asian cuisine kick shows an activity that started in the past and continues now. Also observe how the guest used conditional structures like if I force it to express consequences, which demonstrates sophisticated language control. For your IELTS speaking, remember to elaborate on why you enjoy your hobbies, not just what they are. Use specific examples and personal anecdotes to make your answers memorable and authentic. Connect your interests to broader themes like personal growth or social connections. This depth of response is what examiners are looking for in Band 7 and above. Keep practicing.